So guys, Tinubu was spotted in a video asking Nigerians for forgiveness if he has sinned against us, and that has generated a whole lot of reactions. Like you can see, this headline from Cable says, Tinubu to Nigerians, forgive me if I have sinned. Also, Vanguard captured it saying, if I have sinned, forgive me, Tinubu to Nigerians. Punch too also featured it. Tinubu appeals for forgiveness of Nigerians as Ramadan begins. Now, there is this other headline that has been making wave on how the Tinubu's government spent only 36 million naira for health sector. Even Vanguard captured it that Peter Obi outspent Tinubu on health. Peter Obi has donated hundreds of millions of naira to health institutions in Nigeria, and the Tinubu's government gave out only 36 million to health ministry in a whole 1 year. So guys, that has led to a whole lot of reactions. So guys, before we move further on this, I want you to take a look at how Rufai and others have reacted to this, and just take your time and watch this video that I've got for you. But before then, see the reaction that how this guy reacted. Tinubu say, if I have sinned, forgive me as Nigerians, President Tinubu. And this guy say, forgive you, care. God must punish you. That's what this person now reacted, that Tinubu will not be freed from the punishment of God. So guys, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at these videos for you to understand how Rufai has expressed his dissatisfaction with Tinubu's performance in Nigeria. Take your time, watch this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now take a look.
Now let me hit you out, President Tinubu. This is an aberration to democracy. A president signed a bill in less than 24 hours. Did he go through the Attorney General? Did they read it? What bill did they even sign? You see, these are the questions, and that's why I'm sorry, we have a good as dead opposition in this country. If we had an opposition that is striving, by this money they should be the one running around filing court cases. I think this opposition should go and even learn how to do opposition from the APC, because they don't look ready and organized to me. Who looked at the bill? Who vetted the bill? Did the president himself read the bill that he signed into law? Or they just rushed it for him? And that's why I knew this was going to happen. That's why I was daring you yesterday that if he doesn't, I will dance Kelewu. Have they gone through the prideful process? What did they harmonize? What is even in the bill as we speak today? What was signed? Because this is the same country, Ayo, that we've had discrepancies between what was signed and what was gazetted. Till today, the National Assembly, this same rubber stamp National Assembly.
If you dey live inside Nigeria, I won't beg you with God. I beg, no fall sick. I beg. Except you get money, no fall sick. Because these documents come outside last week, and the document shows that the Nigerian health sector they currently run on 0 naira. Zero, nothing. Look the table from the budget office for 2025. Government approved 218 billion naira to go to the health sector. Waiting it mean the amount of money that we use for building hospitals, new facilities for treatments, making fees cheaper for the citizens, or even making it free for people. And the amount they agreed to put inside that sector with that 218 billion naira. But look, waiting they actually release 36 million naira. Out of 218 billion, they release only 36 million naira. You know how terrible that thing sound? That performance rate is less than 0.01% of the amount where they agree say go leave government's hand to go into the health sector. Make I put them in perspective for you. You know how big man go promise you money for club for everybody here. Then when the bill come, you know go hear the big man again. You don't run commodities. They call them audio money. You go see the amount of money in news. They are doing these big things. This amount is coming out. When it comes to the actualizations of these amounts, you know go hear anything else. Or they will just give a tiny fraction of waiting they agree say they could give. Now exactly waiting this thing be. Capital appropriation are the big word for them. Waiting that one just missing a promise. The actual release, now waiting actually happened, which is the alert where you see. They promise to build new hospitals, but 36 million with their release. No fee even buy 3-bedroom flats inside Abuja. They can put 36 million in perspective for you. You see new Toyota Prado of 2024 could cost you around 130 million naira. And last week I did come out, I see 3 Prado. I believe those ones are 2025. 3 Prado on top trailer. They ship and go somewhere for Abuja. I see them for City Gate side. Of which I know say na one minister go get up. The entire amount of money where they release for a nation where the population they over 250 million people. The amount they release for the health sector of that country no even fit buy 2 tires for 1 Prado. We be say ministers they drive anyhow for our road. Go see convoy of ministers. This no be any attack to anybody. I just state out the facts. When it comes to health in Nigeria, the health sector, apparently the governments don't leave the group chats. It's just that simple. Every single Nigerian they on their own. So as they chop anyhow, they drink coke anyhow, they chop indomie anyhow, they watch your health. Because if anything carry you go hospital, I know if you carry yourself, come out for this country, go get treatment. Or to go private hospital, if you know if you afford the bill, you day on your own. May God help us. So as I make a carry this one, come here, wait till be your thoughts.
Over the weekend, I saw something that blew my mind. It was trending on X, and I've not seen it on Instagram, on TikTok. It's not going viral in these other platforms. And as I always say, whenever I see information that are meant to be heard by Nigerians in general, I will have to make a video, because I think video informations go further than just posts on X. And this one blew my mind. It's a headline from Vanguard newspaper, actually, and I was like, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. But let's read this. Health, what we ordered versus what we got. The 10-year capital funding gap in Nigerian health sector. And you can see from 2016, this is actually highlighting from all the HPCAs. From 2016, the capital appropriation was 28.7 billion. What was released was 15.2 billion. That's 53%. In 2017, 51.3 billion was appropriated and 33.3 billion was released, 65%. 2018, 71.1 billion was appropriated and 42.6 billion was released, 60%. 2019, 46.5 billion was appropriated, 25.5 billion was released, 55%. 2020, 46.5 billion was appropriated, 23.2 billion was released. In 2021, 134 billion was appropriated, 93.8 billion was released. In 2022, 194 billion was appropriated, 87.3 billion was released, 45% of the money. In 2023, 134.7 billion was appropriated, 40.4 billion was released, 30%. In 2024, 434.8 billion was appropriated, 65.4 billion was released, 15%. In 2025, 218 billion was appropriated, 36 million was released, which is 0.0165%. Saddam, calm down. Calm down. Let me explain this for Nigerians, for you guys to understand what I just read right now. In 2025, 218 billion was appropriated and 36 million was released for the health sector of Nigeria. 200 plus million people, 774 local governments, 36 states, and the FCT. This government released 36 million naira to the Federal Ministry of Health. Why they budgeted over 200, they budgeted one of the highest budgets ever in the history of the health sector and released the lowest money ever to this ministry. And you ask yourself, where is the remaining 200 and something billion? This is the government that people are telling us that we should vote for again. In the meantime, some people started asking X questions. Some people started asking X, they say, X, please, they started asking Grok questions. Can you please run a quick math on how much Mr. Peter Obi himself has donated to the health sector? And tweets started flowing everywhere on the social media space. I saw one tweet. Peter Obi has actually donated more money to healthcare, more than the federal government of Nigeria as of 2025. He has donated 280 million in 2025. Peter Obi, a person, has donated 280 million. He donated 280 million in 2025 to the health sector. Do you know when you see him going out visiting all these hospitals, nursing schools and all these things? He donated over 280 million of his own personal money. So one man that's not in office is financing our healthcare sector more than the presidency itself. And people want us to continue with these criminals in power. Where are all these billions going to? Tinubu has borrowed more money than any president in the history of our country. Where is all this money going to? When you ask these criminals questions, they'll they'll point to you Coastal Road. Where is all the money for the healthcare system? That is why we cannot even afford to have anti-snake venom in hospitals in the country. One sickness in Nigeria what
needs to happen? Are you satisfied?
No. See, so this is not a talk about... Please, remove the whole back, I beg you. There's a... Good. So this is not a talk about I won't say whole back. This is not a talk about opposition politics, Vimbai. You know what happened? With all the numbers and APC majority in the House of Rep, mandatory transmission was passed as of December last year. What probably happened was that some dealings went on at the back. Then once the Senate got a deal, they passed it, they just railroaded others. Because in the first place, after you had passed something, why was there a need to rescind it? And see how the vote for rescinding what they passed was done. when even the speaker said, when he said, do you want this bill to go? And the people say, nay. He said the highs have it. So there was no transparency in that process. And that's why I'm asking for litigation. Because if you can prove empirically that the process was flawed, there should be a level of litigation. I mean, even despite procedural matters. So it's not a case. It's what some people wanted. And today we can trace it back to the president because he was so quick to sign it. So he didn't go through procedures too. He didn't take it to the Attorney General. Till today, we are not sure INEC has seen it. Okay, INEC is going to use a law for elections, FCT elections on Saturday. They've not seen the law. They've not written guidelines. So you can see how hastily, for a matter like this, you will have allowed it to settle and breathe. You will have gotten second opinion. You will have been circumspect about it. That's what we expected the president to do. But you quickly signed it. And that's why you see, the president, here is argument. He couldn't make better arguments even about the law itself. Because for all the arguments he was saying that we don't want to disenfranchise people, the argument does not hold water. Empirically, the NCC, and by not me, a government institution, had demonstrated that it was possible with INEC since 2022-2023. They said 2G, 3G, and 5G network, you have close to over 97%. Look at Osaze Uzi coming here. That was what INEC said. And it was based on that pretext they decided to go on with this law. They even went further to say that they had demonstrated it in other previous elections. And it's not today they have been pushing for it. Look at what Mikey Guinea said yesterday. And let me also now nullify the argument of the president because it doesn't hold water. It was the same APC and the president that were asking, I think it was Lai Mohammed in that report in 2013, that were asking for electronic voting. So it's not a case of opposition, Vimbai. It's a case of selfishness. And they are not confident of winning. They are not confident of winning. You see, the reason why they do it is because they are not confident. If they were confident, they would pass what the people want and wait for the president to pan up. But you see, despite the fact that they have 30 governors, they have all the lawmakers with them, they are still scared of winning because they don't trust the work they have done. How the Nigerian people will assess them. So they are not confident in the fact that they've divided the demands of democracy. Okay, take for instance, if they think they are confident, please, I beg you, just give me, let me express. Sure. If they think they are confident, Vibai, the same person that made a promise that said, if I don't give you electricity, do not vote me in. He's the same person that's announced that where he lives, Aso Rock now, is going to solar. They are going off the power grid. Is that a man confident in his abilities?
Okay. Well,
look at the same government that said, okay, we'll fix everything. Or we'll remove subsidies so that because we have to get money. Just 36 million was expended on the Ministry of Health. Now they are giving a funny explanation that doesn't hold water. With that one, they're trying to spin propaganda that doesn't know his left from his right.
We'll get into
you
that.
think that after you accepted the 36 million, does it nullify that the same government that spent only 36 million on health spent 150 million to do an event?
Can I ask you to hold your fire because we are going to take that story a little bit later today. But Ayo, also looking at it retrospectively, some people are saying 9th Assembly versus 10th Assembly, comparing, is it apples and oranges? Especially given that we've seen some of the footage from what happened, 2021, 2022. It was also a lot of rancor, but definitely not to the level of what we saw transpiring this week.
And thanks for bringing that point up as well, because I'd said earlier on, I remember that we have 3 tiers of government. And right when it comes to elections in Nigeria, initially it started with all eyes on the judiciary. Can the judiciary help in the area where INEC failed, according to some quarters in the last elections? Unfortunately, many people felt that the judiciary didn't rise up to the plate. Now, the legislature, and then that brings us under that umbrella of a rubber stamp assembly, which we have seen again and again. We've seen whereby executive bills or bills that are seen to favor the executive are passed swiftly. Some people still make reference to the national anthem, the old national anthem and the swiftness. And then things that actually matter to the Nigerian people, dragging, we talk about this extra seats for women bill, a number of bills that are of importance, not being taken very seriously and dragged. And so when you compare assembly, assemblies, 8th, 9th. In fact, we will go back to the 8th assembly, I believe, under Senator Mukolasa Aki, who was saying that has been the most, it gave Nigerians an opportunity to actually see true democracy in action at its best, at least so far in Nigeria. It could have been better. There's no assembly that has not been flawed, but this particular assembly, the stories that would be told, right, especially under the presidency of Senate President Akpabio, from the prayers to the controversies around some of their senators. Some senators say they're being gagged, they're being sidelined under this same assembly. And then you begin to ask that, what is the process that got the people, the representatives and the senators in the assembly in the first place? And that's why elections matter. If people can see that, okay, I voted for this person, and no matter what the person is doing, it was my choice, and next time I can use my ballot to sack the person, it gives people more confidence. And that's why it's sad when there was a public outcry around the provisions of the Electoral Amendment Act, and it wasn't listened to. I just want to take a few points from President Tinubu's speech accompanying his assent. Yes, very quickly. First of all, he says, when citizens walk into a polling unit, they must do so with confidence. When results are declared, they must be trusted. That confidence is built deliberately and not by chance. Unfortunately, what he did is anti what he said. I know he said that what you're doing speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. And so you're saying that you want people to have more confidence, but the people have come out to say that the only way we can have confidence in the transparency of the process is by giving us real-time transmission of elections. If he's really committed to that statement, then they should have just done the honorable thing by Nigerians. One more statement, or he says he thanks the National Assembly for its cooperation and sense of national responsibility in bringing the process to a successful conclusion. The National Assembly had 2 years been by to bring this process to pass. They rushed it in a space of months and deprived Nigerians who had been consulting, engagement, town hall meetings, CSOs who had contributed to the process, made their task in vain. Yesterday you saw Mr. Mike Igini almost as if it was so emotional, almost in tears, because a lot of people have worked hard, in this process. Unfortunately, this is what we see. The National Assembly did a rush job and gave Nigerians what they felt did not do them a service to believe in the credibility of the next elections. But I end on this note because I don't want people to be despondent. I don't want to see increased voter apathy. The vote still lies with the people. The day the Nigerian people lose is the day that they give up. So despite the discouragements following, the assent to this now an act, Nigerian people, the power still lies with you. The most important office is still the office of the citizen. Engage. This is time to protect your vote. Go and vote and ensure that whatever it is that you put or you voted is what counts at the end of the day. The Nigerian citizen is still very important in the political process and democracy in Nigeria.
Very well said. Very well said. I love the passion around this issue because, like you said, at the end of the day, elections and who is voted into power is what makes or breaks a nation. And it should respond to the will of the people. I suppose the pressure is now on INEC to be able to bring out detailed guidelines and interpretations of some of the fuzzy areas of this act. Well, let's turn our attention now to Ondo State, where 2 people have been confirmed dead, whilst 3 have been injured and a vehicle set ablaze as violence disrupted the All Progressives Congress, Ward Congress, in Idanre, LGA, Ondo State. The incident occurred at Odode Idanre as the ruling party conducted congresses across its 203 wards in the state. The unrest is believed to be a spillover of Tuesday's disruption at the party's secretariat in Akure, where suspected hoodlums invaded a stakeholders meeting and assaulted the party's state chairman Ade Timein, along with other party chieftains. Well, what's interesting about this incident is that what captured the attention of people on social media was not so much the violence itself. Let's take a look at some reactions. On X, somebody said, "This is 2026. I bet the governors and commissioners have 8-9 cars in the convoy, but no ambulance for the people. This is wrong." Don PC tweeted as well and said, "If it's APC, a family affair. I hope when they recover, they will begin to hold themselves to account to provide basic infrastructure for all. before. Ayo, I'm going to come back to you because, I remember the president's words when he said he does love to see the opposition in disarray. But now we're starting to see it's not the beginning. We've seen several scuffles within APC as well. And going to elections, we're going to see tensions continue to rise within all of the parties. And APC is not excluded from this.
Now, because political parties are a critical and key part of our democracy, what we want to see, even at political party level, primary levels, Congress and convention levels, is democracy in action. And it almost foretells what the bigger election would look like, especially when we start to see scuffles. I've mentioned it before, that there just might very well be an implosion. So the fact that the APC seems to be capturing, where you have a mixed multitude in the bag, they will fight amongst themselves because you now begin to see the cracks. Don't forget that there were cracks in the APC even before they started, accumulating all these members from different states. And so it is sad to see grown men, politicians and political violence still be a key part of our democratic process. And so maybe this is a signal to the APC to, whilst looking outside, to look inward first of all, that they should sort out internal democracy in order to be able to get it right for the external, outing come 2027. There are still a few rumblings, and I don't think that this will be the end of these rumblings. And so it's not just political sagacity or great political strategy to bring everybody in. If you bring everybody in without a structure, you will see, just like a man who doesn't have a structure in his own marrying multiple wives, the problem inside the house will be more than what is outside. And so bringing people together, I mean, I haven't ascertained what's the cause in terms of what the actual intricacies of this particular matter.
So they're accusing Governor Ayedatiwa of apparently resisting those who are not in favor of him. There are conversations about how Ayedatiwa is purportedly trying to see how he can get another term. It's still that same argument, or rather debate, going on about how many times a governor or a president can be sworn in and so forth.
It boils down to the same
opposition.
thing.
It's
Yes.
the same thing.
So is that you have opposition within the party. So when you bring together different mixed multitude, you would have this kind of confusions. And I believe that they can use the Ondo State example as a litmus test for the other states. Because if we don't manage internal politics, as I highlighted Kanu, we've talked about River State, some of the potential hotbeds with political infighting within the APC. And so if it's not properly managed, we might see replication of this across different parties. And that's why I keep saying that despite the fact that one party seems to have so many people coming, it is not Uhuru yet. There's still a number of issues that need to be ironed out, and it is not settled already. So people calling 2027 ahead and say, it's already gone. It's not. The people still have an opportunity to get it right. It's not over until it's over. And that's what I keep saying.
Absolutely. And I hope that the polity can cool down, because we still have a long road to go before 2027. Scuffles, the incidents of political violence are certainly not what we need right now, as well as other forms of communication that may be insightful. Let's take a look at this story, where a video circulating on social media showing flyers of a translation of extracts of the interview that Nigeria's First Lady Remi Tinubu held with Fox News Digital into Hausa has stirred up controversy. If you recall, in the interview, Remi Tinubu had affirmed her support for the military cooperation between the US and Nigeria. However, several headlines had quoted her as saying the Christmas bombings were a blessing. Now, these headlines have now formed the basis for the direct translation into Hausa that intends to be distributed as flyers. So the video shared by ex-user Emir Serdam alleges that the First Lady called the Christmas Day bombing a blessing and supported further airstrikes. And just for context, here's a recap of the interview where Remi Tinubu described US intervention and international attention on Nigeria's security challenges as a blessing. However, she did not call for more bombings.
President Trump recognized me. Who would have thought that would happen, to even say the least? So when you look at that, I'm getting global recognition in all of it, despite, and that is what life is all about. If something is going to be good, it will come from, the rebels, and it starts like that. And then we have that attention, we have the conversation going, and we expect, there will be more, it's going to yield a better fruit for us, and both for us and also America.
Well, that's what she said. But, remember, we were here when the story broke and, there were several interpretations across the board. And now we see politicians or, advocates or whatever you want to call them, people who obviously support their own parties, are taking advantage of this, printing these flyers, and you can only imagine what this will cause if you distribute this in certain parts of the country, Rufai.
The sad reality is that it's politics, but on this, like I always tell politicians, please campaign clean. Get proper arguments and campaign. Do not try to berate the wife of the president. I mean, I keep saying the wife of the president because we don't have a constitutional role for a first lady. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Do you see anywhere first lady in constitution of this country? So,
it's just traditionally called the first lady.
Yeah, so it's the wife of the president for me. Yeah. So the truth is, you do not try to change what she has said because you want to play political games. But when you also look at it, she got her spin doctors to get her that interview because she wanted to present a front to the Americans, like, oh, we're trying to sort out all the problem within. And she made her arguments. But apart from what they are doing, which I see is wrong, the spin, the people too are not mad. They see that America is getting footing. It's brought soldiers in. It's got a drone base here and all of that. And some people might not be happy about it. But the question is, don't we want the end to insecurity? Why are they not happy about it? If they are now saying that, oh, she asked for further airstrikes, and they are saying, oh, the Christmas airstrike and all of that, don't we want the problem to be solved? Let's even go there in this conversation. Because it's so easy now to paint the wife of the president somehow.
It's a difficult balancing act.
It's a difficult balancing. Yes, some people were not happy about it in parts of the country, the airstrike. But don't we want the problem to be solved? Was it civilians they killed in the airstrike? Are we not tired of the killing and the kidnapping of people? Are we not tired of what happened in Kwara and Woro? They've written another letter again. So don't we want an end to it? Don't we want the condemnation of these terrorist acts in our country that are killing people? Let me even go there and support the wife of the president. What if she didn't ask for more airstrikes? And even if she had asked for more airstrikes, is it on innocent people? Is it not to stop the insecurity in this country? Why are we talking like we face off the insecurity and we don't want things to happen? We don't want good things to happen to this country. What we are saying is we want the killings and everything to end, so that peace can be restored to parts of the north and every part of the country. So that's just my point. And please, people should not now misconstrue things and all of that. No, on the first lady, I'm sorry. On the wife of the president, I'm sorry. Don't go this route with that woman. No.
Yeah, very well said. Again, we're just talking about cooling the temperature down. There's no need to heat up the polity. And
see, it's not that. Today I'm defending the first lady. It's not that APC were saints when they were in opposition. They did worse.
But
you see, don't get me wrong. But two wrongs don't make it right. On this, watch the interview, first lady didn't say anything, off the mark or anything. So please.
All right. I think it's also high time we found the people who are behind this propaganda. This is now not just mere rhetoric. We know how fragile the state of of relationships, especially along religious and ethnic lines. This has the potential to blow up beyond what we can see. And so it is it's not just people telling lies, it's not just politics as usual. And that's why the person or the people who are behind this are deliberate in the narration and in the retelling almost, or the interpretation of what the First Lady said. And there's an evil intention behind that to cause chaos. It goes beyond politics. And that's why I believe that whoever is behind the distribution of these papers, especially if they're modeling up facts, ought to be brought to book. And that's why we say even those people who are coming out, who are extremists, who are making statements that are inflammatory, should be brought in for questioning. Some of them come out very boldly and make these statements. And say it even in...
So I'll come back to you. Let's take the story so that you can continue that line of thought, because that's exactly where we're going. As Amnesty International Nigeria has called for the immediate and unconditional release of vocal online commentator Adamu Abubakar Afan, who was reportedly arrested by the DSS in Kaduna and is said to have been denied access to a lawyer and family. Afan, whom Amnesty International describes as an activist, is popularly known on X for his extremist, insightful and divisive rhetoric on his account. Social media users have reacted to Amnesty International by sharing some of Afan's old tweets, which include tweets celebrating the anti-Semitic mass shooting that killed 15 at a Jewish festival in Bondi Beach, Australia. He also posted about his readiness to recreate the killing of Deborah Samuel, who was brutally murdered because of blasphemy. However, Amnesty International says in their statement that, and I quote, there was no justification for the brazen and outright violation of his right to freedom of expression. Now let's just take some reactions to this. From X, Eniola tweeted and said, Abubakar Afan is not an activist. He has threatened, celebrated killings by terrorists and makes inflammatory extremist comments in support of terrorists. I agree, his case must follow due process, but this should serve as a deterrent to people like him. Osaru joined in and said, I support granting Abubakar Afan immediate access to his lawyers and ensuring his fundamental human rights are protected. However, the truth is he's widely known for supporting Islamic terrorism and threatening people online. So here we are again, Ayo, like you're saying, you have these individuals that inflame, social media and push. You saw those tweets from him. Those are his tweets from his account. It's very terrifying. And, I was unable to reach, I have tried to reach the necessary authorities for confirmation about what exactly has happened. I'm looking forward to their response. But in essence, Amnesty International are now framing him as an activist.
No, he's not an activist.
No, he's not. He's not an activist. Some of the things that he had the audacity to post are quite shocking, and I'm grateful that he has been picked up for questioning. I do agree, because we speak about this across all board, because we cannot condemn it in one regard and praise it, that due process must be followed. There must be a respect, whether or not we agree with it or like him, to his fundamental human rights. And we speak about this across. But sometimes, there are some things you do that make you lose access to certain rights. But what I'm saying, especially if there is threat to national security, what I'm saying is that this man he actually served in the Nigerian army. If you look at his background, and it's quite interesting, and he served in the Northeast, he's talked about his experiences there. He's even shared online about how he's been lured to be recruited to the Russian army, how he rejected it. So he's been very vocal on social media. But there are some tweets or some posts he made, particularly the ones that you cited, especially around what he said to Very Dark Man, around what he would do to him if he did the same thing in the same case as Deborah, and which we condemn in its absoluteness. And so in this regard, I do believe that he has some questions to answer. However, I believe what Amnesty International is doing is to try to challenge the way and process and manner it's being done. I don't think that if they came out to talk about it, or they wouldn't have the rights to detain him based on the evidence before them, but they should just do things properly. Because if we don't speak for every Nigerian, it would be the same excuse that we'll use to tackle an innocent and put him in custody. What we're asking is across board, every human being who is Nigerian has a right to access to certain rights protected by the Constitution. In doing so, Amnesty is right. But in terms of him being questioned, absolutely. And I believe that more people like him who incite and heat up the polity like him ought to be picked up and ought to be questioned. But he should face the full wrath of the law. They should charge him to court. They should put the charges before him. Due process should be followed. That's what we're asking for. That's it.
So for me, I'm going to take another dimension. I think this is where we now need to talk about the social media companies. The oversight is not enough. You can currently see what Mark Zuckerberg is facing abroad. Anyway, that's on another case of the fact that the social media is designed in such a way that it will make you addicted to it. Yeah. If people are posting such narrative, I think the social media companies say they employ thousands of people. Why have they not flagged tweets like this? Why have they not flagged messaging like this? And you see, that's the reason why I talk about leke. Rubbish like this cannot go on leke. Rubbish like this cannot be going on leke. Never. That's why you see, since I've been on leke, clean conversations, arguments that are informed. That's just it. So a man comes to make such an inciting statement. Yes, I get Amnesty International. His right must be respected. There must not be any overreach. But it doesn't stop the fact that he's incited evil. And that's what we should go after. And there are many other people that have been inciting evil too.
Yes.
Ala Gumi.
Yes.
There are many things.
Several.
This is where
the truth is as if also some people have more power than some. Some that have advocated for bandits, nothing has happened to them. We've seen even state governments appreciate these people. So please, we can't have a country where this is. And please, no, this is wrong.
Yeah. And make sure you just subscribe to Leke, download the app for a sane space to interact. All right, now let's get to another issue where in a development, the presidency has come out to officially debunk, or they claim to debunk, earlier claims that the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare only received 36 million naira out of its 218 billion naira capital allocation for 2025. In a Thursday morning post on X from the President's Special Assistant, Dada Olusegun, he calls it a delusion taken too far, stating that the ministry is funded from several other sources to ensure Nigerians keep getting their needed services. Earlier, the Minister of Health, Professor Mohammed Pate, revealed they had only received 36 million naira, which prompted backlash on social media over the poor funding of healthcare. Well, so in essence, he is admitting that the health ministry only got 36 million naira.
You can see, trying to defend APC will make you run mad.
Let me just take this story together.
For us now. Let me just say
Let me just take two stories together. Meanwhile, the CEO of Nigeria's Institute of Soil Science, Professor Victor Chude, revealed this week that his agency, which exists under the Ministry of Agriculture, has not received any funding from President Tinubu's administration since 2024. Professor Chude made these comments during a budget defense session, revealing that the last time they were paid was during late President Buhari's regime. Let's take a look.
We didn't have any money. we were just given by the grace of Allah. We don't think so many people divorced their wives. No couple.
So they are just working free.
No. People are with expectations. You keep expecting. Then different prayer.
So, Prof, how have you been feeding?
Different prayer groups sprang up.
How have you been feeding with your workers?
How we've been feeding?
Yes.
Families, extended families have been assisting them.
This country that
just imagine, how have they been feeding? He says from extended family. And the unfortunate thing is you can hear some people in that session laughing. I don't know if it's nervous laughter or what it is.
No, Bimba. Discount their own laughter. You know the biggest joke in all of it? We have met our revenue targets, non-oil. That's the biggest joke. We are hearing President Tinubu telling us that we have met our revenue target, non-oil. Because of that matter, Showore is still in court today. Despite the joke, then the minister came. He said only 10 billion came to Federation accounts. 10 trillion came to Federation accounts. Today, people have not been paid. So the question we should ask President Tinubu is that you collected supplementary budgets where in 2023 that you were more concerned about buying your own private jets for yourself, over 150 billion, and spending 21 billion to fix the home of the vice president, which you people alone took over close to 200 billion on that supplementary budget. 2024 budget, 2025 budget. So what did you do with all the money you so-called say you disbursed? And when we asked President Tinubu now, the last time he went to read budget, like got there, they said he said was reading budget performance. He said we did well in budget performance. How can you do well when most of things are not funded? And somebody has the temerity to think Nigerians are fool by shooting himself in the foot by saying, yes, the minister says only 36 million, but we're getting funding from other. The other source he was talking about was donor funds. Can't you see the shame that it is on them? Go ahead, Vimba.
All right. Well, we're going to move on straight to our next story, which is focusing on Some of the communication strategies from this particular administration. The popular comedian and skit maker Kevin Arua, also known as Governor Amuneke, has sparked conversation online after posting a video on Tuesday morning where he alleges that he was offered a chairmanship role on President Tinubu's campaign, which he turned down. In the video, Governor Amuneke, as he's known as, shares screenshots that are said to come from someone on the president's team, condemning him for making skits against the administration and instead offering him dollars to campaign for Tinubu. Let's watch.
I've been watching your content. Please, you are not impressing me. You are only using your content to fight my leader, President Tinubu. I just want to let you know that President Tinubu is bigger than mere comedy sessions. Join the League of Dollars and campaign for Tinubu. So he came clear. So, I mean, for some reasons, maybe the people from this party might debunk they are not from there, right? They are not from there. I have the messages here. So someone sent me this. And in case it's not from there, well, I mean, no harm to present this, but if in case you have it in mind that you want to come for somebody like me to be part of Tinubu campaign, it's a no-no, a dead on arrival. I want you to have it in your head. Don't even think about it.
Well, some people are saying that this could also be a skit. Who knows? Well, it comes as leaked chats allegedly show APC associates offering influencers as little as 3,000 naira to boost pro-government posts on X, sparking outrage. Jamal Mustafa, whose account is responsible for the post, has reaffirmed his actions and posted saying the APC will rule forever. This is what he said. He said, "You can insult me from now till tomorrow. It doesn't change the fact that the PR campaign is still ongoing and y'all can't stop it." In another tweet, he said, "I see all Peter Obi supporters are triggered. APC will forever rule Nigeria."
You know, I talk about political parties being very important in the democratic process, and we're not for any, we're apolitical. What we are asking for is that politics is done properly in Nigeria. That's what we're asking for. And so when we see cases like this, you can make a decision to choose or vote any party you want to choose, support any party you want to support. But it must not be done with fear, intimidation, underhanded practices. That's what we're calling for. And then there's a desperation by the APC towards the next election. And I have talked about it. I've praised their efforts that, say what you may, they seem to be very serious in terms of their strategy, getting it right. But what we don't want is for people to be taken advantage of, or people to be forced in this way to promote a certain way. Now, when it comes to the money, they accepted the money, didn't they? Whether it's 3,000 naira, 1,005. But I think it speaks to a bigger issue around the level of poverty and desperation of Nigerians. And unfortunately, politicians leverage this for their own personal ambitions. That's why someone will sell their vote for 500 naira. Don't blame the person too much. If you have children at home, a family that have not eaten in the last 24 hours, and someone offers you a pittance, you'll rush for it. And that's why poverty is a weapon, one of the biggest weapons used by politicians and the elite to keep the people bound. That's right. We must solve that out if we want proper elections in Nigeria.
That's it. We have to say no to Abegistan. All right, before we take our milestone, let's briefly highlight an AI-generated video that's been circulating on social media, which supposedly shows a handful of American troops in Nigeria eating traditional Nigerian soup. In one video, which was posted on a Renewed Hope UK account, the caption says that US troops have arrived in Nigeria to support our armed forces, adding that they're enjoying a taste of Nigerian cuisine before getting to action. Take a look at this. Are you saying how would they even fight after eating all that soup? But the video comes as the Nigerian military confirmed on Monday that about 100 US troops plus equipment arrived in the country to help train Nigerian soldiers. But just on the topic of AI, there's also another AI image that has been shared widely on social media. And if we can put it up, this is an image of a racetrack, and it has all of the front runners, if I may call them, in the presidential race, all getting ready. On your marks, get set, go, is the AI generated image. The conversation is, 2023, AI was not deeply embedded. It wasn't. But now this election is going to be, defined by a lot of AI use.
2023 had predicted. Please, can you cut off the whole back? I beg.
All right.
Okay.
Go ahead.
2023 had predicted that deep fakes were going to herald our elections. Some of it started in 2023. Now it has morphed. It's unprecedented.
That's the image.
That's the image on the screen. Yeah, it's unprecedented. But please, people, be wary. You will still be able to spot sometimes. So, like those military officers, you will have, if you had just checked, you will have seen that there were no name tags. So obviously. And please, once you see the video, before you believe it, you can just take it through Grok. All right, or take it through Gemini or anything to be able to verify the video and all of that. But what I want to say is that people should be careful. Do not believe anything you see or any video sends to you. There's currently a scam being used. My face now is being used for a scam. And I've told people not to do it. A number of people have been used. So you should be careful. Do not invest in any Adebayo or something and all of that.
What's Wike doing on that thing?
Yeah.
Why are people mischief makers? He's on the same.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the reaction on the social media. Let's start with this one that says that Nuhu Ribadu accused of unlawfully detaining woman for 10 months for recording alleged romantic video call with Tinubu. Can you imagine? So they don't even know that detaining this woman is going to expose them. Now, Sahara Reporter has taken up this case. Let's see how Nigerians are reacting. This person here say, you shouldn't, okay, sorry, let me take more of these reactions. This person, you shouldn't, you people shouldn't distract us, please. Having the name Tinubu and romantic in the same sentence should unarguably win the funniest joke award of the world. We are more interested in chasing APC out of our yam ban. Hey, God, this person is a woman, romantic, video call, and Tinubu. How? Really? How? Another person here say, no wonder Tinubu enter power, he just order yacht, presidential jet immediately. Baba for the girls. Hey, Jehovah. Another person here say, romantic video call. That kind of play is too much now. If na President Jonathan, that can be a good idea. But this administration will fold you. If you try that, make them no go beg Oga. And this person, you just read some comments and you just logged out of the comment section of that post. This person here say, which of the Tinubu? Honestly, is it the Tinubu This person say, so Tinubu even gets strength for romance with Nigerian women. And another person here said, a nation becomes unsafe the moment power fears exposure more than injustice, because the truth becomes dangerous. Freedom quietly dies. Tinubu still get feeling for woman. Hey God, these people will finish somebody. If you don't want people to have a recording of your romantic video call, do not make such a video call. Why is a man who can barely stand or talk properly making a romantic video call? What is he saying? Hey, God, can you imagine? What is he saying, guys? This person is so Baba we nowhere. They find woman too. As usual, Sahara Reporter don't carry headline run before proof show. This allegation against Nuhu Ribadu needs solid evidence. No be their regular sensational style. This was a Sahara Reporter has long been known for peddling fake narrative. Malam Nuhu Ribadu, a symbol of success, remains a target for mischief. The claim of unlawful detaining a woman over a romantic video call with President Tinubu is pure fiction, baseless, false. Just went through the comment section. I noticed that the majority of the people are seeing Sahara reporter for who they are, always reporting fake news. And this other person here say, if you want to know account that lives on APC 3K, they will start their comment with the story is false, misleading. And this other person here said, I'm tired of Sahara reporter fake news and propaganda. This story is completely make up. If it actually happened, you have proof, but you have nothing. You have nothing. Stop acting immature. This is a false and misleading story. There is more to know about the NSA than just what he looks to be. Why will he detain the young lady? She has right to live her private life. Likewise, President Tinubu have right to live his private life. Why did Mr. President allow the video call with the lady? And this other person is so the ugly Tinubu still the poor. So he want to do another Abacha. Hey God, though the claim is false, but what do you expect from Sahara reporter, so-called media organization driven by propaganda and lies? The story entirely lacks facts and proves nothing. Yele Shore, you don't start with your fake news again. I don't understand. Romantic call with Tinubu, Sahara reporter. Which of the Tinubus last? Everyone is liable of arrest. Make una no make person create for this country. Abeg, make person read the headline and interpret, because I no understand. Other reporters always post propaganda, fabricated news, never fact. This incident never happened. There's zero evidence. The allegation against Nuribadu is completely false and baseless. No one was detained over any video call with President. God, this person says so. Recording a video can allegedly keep someone in detention for 10 months, but corruption, insecurity, and economic hardship still walk free every day. This is the Nigeria ordinary citizens are expected to trust. Oh, Baba. This person say, please, who did you say she was doing romantic? No, let South Africans or Namibians see this. Na men know you give them. So, oh my God, this country, this story is completely false. Okay, Tinubu still get power to make one answer. Oh my God. So guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.